Good morning. My name is Fabrizio Pizzuto, and I am the coordinator of the Master in Art Curating for RUFA. And you are?
Good morning too. I am Anja Foerschner. I am the director of ECC Performance Art and a curator and researcher of performance art and a soon-to-be guest lecturer at the master's program of Fabrizio's.
And I'll be very honored of this. Maybe we can start with an exhibition, with a sort of case study, because you are sort of specialized in performance art. Now you have an exhibition in Italy, in Venice, with artist friend of us and teacher in our school, Marta Jovanovic. How you worked with her? What's happened? What is this exhibition?
Yes, so I hope that I'm not giving away too much, but no. Yes, Marta will have a performance at this year's Venice International Performance Art Week at Palazzo Mora in Venice, Italy on December 16th. The performance we just decided on a title is called Sola, and it's a very interesting piece of work because Marta has thought about the performance for a very long time. It started at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, and obviously, it's been a couple of years now and things have changed and progressed. So starting to finally work with her on that performance was actually really interesting because we had to draw from so much material, but I mean that's one of also what I find so interesting about curating performance art is that you work with a very unruly, so to speak, product. You work with a creative mind. You work with a creative process. You are part of a creative process, so right now, it was really very much about going through the various kind of ideas that Marta had, the various iterations that the work had taken on in her mind. Also knowing we have a specific place where we'll be showing this, which also disposes of its own history, of its own, specifics in terms of what the rooms look like, and kind of, I don't want to say make this work fit in this context, but using that context that we're given now with the Venice International Performance Art Week as a chance to kind of bring the work from this as it kind of the status it took on over the last couple of years to what will be seen in Venice.
Yes, I see. What is interesting for me from the point of view of the curator, because I have also a friendship with Marta and with you, and I believe that the relation during the exhibition between curator and artist is something else. It's not exactly the friendship, not exactly the familiar, but not exactly just the professional, because there's something else. What is your opinion in this?
That is exactly how you described it, and this is actually the fourth case that I'm working with Marta now. So obviously, over the course of our collaboration, our, relationship grew very close. We are friends, but we also, are professional collaborators. But I do remember very vividly the first performance that we worked on, which was called Ljubav, the Serbian word for love. It was a performance that took place in 2016 in Belgrade. And Marta and we had just met in Rome, coincidentally. We were introduced by a fellow friend of ours, and we only spoke for maybe about an hour, actually about something unrelated, a research project that I was conducting on archiving performance art. And shortly later, she wrote me an email and asked, do you want to curate this exhibition? And it was this performance, and it was a very personal performance for her. She worked through a personal, history, going through a divorce. So we kind of just met on this ground, on this very intense relationship of going through, preparing this performance together. But yes, I think it's difficult, but also, very rewarding relationship for the curator. You kind of are, very close to the artist producing the work, but you also have this, I feel, this responsibility of retaining a sort of distance to the work and there, hopefully through that, be helpful to the artist to, reflect from the outside. You have to move in and out of the creative process, I feel. You have to provide, I always see myself as kind of like a cloud storage. The artist gives me their input, their ideas, and I save them and I pull them out, if needed. You also have to be, kind of a mirror. You have to reflect, you have to help them sort through ideas. And obviously, because producing a work of performance art is such a personal thing, you do that in a very personal relationship.
You need an understanding moment. You have to know what everything means.
Yes.
Listen, another interesting argument for me is why performance? Because when a young student decide to be a curator, rarely think at the performance because it's not practical. It's not you can sell an object easily than to sell a movement inside a space for a few moments in some case. And in the international field is a little different from Italy. Probably in Italy we don't have so much. We have so much culture in our history of performance, but we don't have the culture to pay the artist for the performance. In some cases, become a sort of advertising of an exhibition. And so you have the performance and you have the object inside the gallery. Your opinion, your way of working, why you start with the performance? It's a fascination. You love this.
Yes, very much. I mean, I was like my professional development happened in a very, very traditional setting at the University of Munich, where, the field of art history, you study sculpture, painting, Renaissance, the entire kind of, Western traditional canonical art history. And I worked at a museum in Munich, at the Haus der Kunst, and never was drawn to performance art. It hadn't even kind of popped up on my radar. And then we had an exhibition by Paul McCarthy, the performance artist from Los Angeles. And I remember I walked into the first room of his exhibition. It was Pirate Project. It was big. It was loud. It was gory. It was horrible to me. I stood in there and I was like, this is not art. What is this? This is an atrocity. This is not art. And my reaction was so strong, obviously, because, performance art is visceral. It connects with you because bodies are used on this kind of corporeal level. And that intrigued me so much that my own response was so strong that I got like, I had to continue to work with that because that was a response that I had never felt towards any other artwork. And, then I started studying all kinds of aspects of performance art, working with feminist performance artists, with Carolee Schneemann, with her archive, a very kind of paper-based archive at the Getty Research Institute. And when Marta asked me to curate that performance, that was, the first instance, the first chance I got to do so. But it just came very natural. I don't know if that was the relationship with Marta that, was really from the moment we met very fruitful. But it's an art form that continues to surprise me. Every artist I work with, every student I meet at our institute, every instance is so different. And I think that's to me, really the appeal of performance art, that you cannot classify it, you cannot curate it in one manner, you cannot exhibit it in one manner. It just goes all different ways and it challenges you all the time.
This is interesting because all the lovers of performance art are in a similar way. They adore. It's something they can't change. Last but not least, what is, because maybe someone don't know, what is ACC performance art?
ECC Performance Art is an online teaching institute teaching institute for performance art. We have to find a new term, when it comes to performance art, because there is not really a way to teach it. But basically what we do is we offer online courses on various aspects of performance art theory and practice, bringing together, in live classes, or online live classes, a group of participants with a lecture. They learn about certain theoretical aspects, but they also get to practice their, performative persona. They get to work. They get to do little performances in situ in class. They get assignments, and they get to. Our idea is, first of all, to give people who are interested in performance art or who have been performing for a while a platform to connect with others, but also a way to develop certain aspects of their discipline, because there are not many educational programs yet for performance art, but there's very many performance artists. And I think in every discipline, even in performance art, it's very important to learn about history, to learn about theory, to inform and substantiate your practice, and to try also sometimes, aspects that might be out of your comfort zone. So for example, we have a course on instruction-based performance, which initially to me sounded like, what, really? But performance art is the opposite of instruction. But for some students, that's exactly what's needed to explore another facet of their work. We have a course right now on performance art and environmentalism, where performative practice is used to investigate into environmental issues, into climate change, but also conflict, armed conflict, displacement, and so forth. Mm-hmm. So we try to make a program that really allows people, as I said before, to explore different parts of their work and hopefully hone their skills for the future.
It's also about understand what is performance art. It's not theater, it's not acting, it's something else. It's in the field of visual art. Weirdly, because to move your body is visual art. Yes, it is, because it is. Yeah. Where you are? Also online.
You mean based physically? Yeah. In the Netherlands right now.
Okay, and the teaching institute is online, but also in a real place?
Well, it's actually exclusively online. We initially had thought about organizing in situ physical workshops, but it so coincided that the founding of the institute happened at the same time that the pandemic happened. Mm-hmm. So the first year we had planned with G12 Hub in Belgrade to facilitate a physical workshop in Serbia. And we immediately had to, obviously change the entire concept and do that online as well. And I just found the online setting, to be as accessible as possible for people. So we continue all the activities online. So to allow as many people as possible to join in.
What is your relation with Italy? You work it here sometimes.
Yes, Italy is a country, obviously, that as a born German, you go to for vacation all the time. So for us, it's like the major vacation country. I just now recently, with Marta at Rufa, I came last year to curate the final exhibition of the master's program. I'm just now exploring it as, a workplace and a work environment. And I'm very much a nomad. I'm not, stationary, and I worked in very different environments, and I'm just excited to explore and hopefully get to know Italy in that relation a bit more.
Okay. You are Dutch. You was born in Netherlands.
Born German.
Born in German?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you are German. And then moved to the United States and now moved to the Netherlands. But we'll see how long. And the good thing is that ECC Performance Art can travel with me, so it doesn't really matter where I'm physically located.
Okay, we cut that part that I don't know where are you from. You are German.
Yes.
I'm joking, we don't cut. What's happening, I don't care.